Why do older women feel tired all the time? Let's not dance around it. This isn't about being lazy. It's not because you're just getting old. That tired feeling isn't imaginary. It's real, it's frustrating, and it shows up like an uninvited guest who won't take the hint. One moment you're folding laundry or making tea, the next your body's whispering, "Let's take a nap," like it's a broken record. And it's not just physical exhaustion either. It's that heavy, bone-deep kind of tired that doesn't go away with a good night's sleep. So what's really going on? Let's start with the sneakiest culprit, your hormones. After 60, they don't just gently decline. They do a cliff dive. Estrogen, progesterone, and even testosterone, which yes, women do have, begin to plummet. These hormonal shifts mess with your energy levels, your mood, your sleep, your temperature, even your appetite. You can be doing everything right and still feel like someone pulled the plug on your battery. The worst part? You might not even connect the dots. You're just living life, wondering why everything feels 2 times harder than it used to. Your legs ache more after walking the dog. You sit down for 5 minutes and somehow wake up an hour later. You forget what day it is, not because your memory is bad, but because your brain feels like it's running in molasses. Now combine those hormonal shifts with the silent saboteur. Poor sleep. And no, we're not just talking about staying up late watching old movies. This is deeper. Many older women start waking up at night without knowing why. Maybe it's hot flashes. Maybe it's joint pain. Or maybe your brain just decides 3 in the morning is the perfect time to replay every embarrassing thing you've ever said since 1974. Whatever the reason, broken sleep becomes the new normal, and it wrecks everything. Your body heals while you sleep. Your mind resets. Your muscles recover. When that sleep is constantly interrupted, your tank doesn't refill. It's like starting every day with only a quarter tank of gas, hoping you'll still make it across town. No wonder everything feels harder. Then there's the daily stress. Just because you've reached retirement age doesn't mean life slows down. You're still managing households, helping grandkids, checking on friends, or maybe even working part-time. Some of you are caregivers, full-time, unpaid, and running on fumes. No medals, no sick days, and somehow you're expected to do it all with a smile. Chronic stress releases cortisol. That's your body's emergency response hormone. And when it sticks around too long, it messes with your sleep, makes you gain belly fat, fogs up your memory, and makes you feel like you're constantly dragging a sandbag behind you. You might think you're just tired. In reality, your nervous system is waving a little white flag, begging for a break. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room: nutrition. We're not here to shame anybody, but let's be honest. A lot of seniors, especially women, slowly slide into nutritional gaps. Not on purpose, it just sort of happens. Appetite shrinks, taste buds change, cooking feels like a chore. Suddenly breakfast becomes toast and coffee. Lunch is a yogurt cup. Dinner, maybe a bowl of cereal. Days go by without enough protein, fiber, magnesium, or iron. And guess what? That matters. Iron helps carry oxygen in your blood. Magnesium supports muscle function. B vitamins give your cells the spark they need to function. Without them, your body is running a marathon with no shoes on. Also, hydration. Yep, the classic "just drink more water" speech. But here's the twist. As you age, your thirst signals get weaker. So by the time you feel thirsty, your body may have already been in a mild state of dehydration for hours. And that subtle dehydration, it can cause fatigue, brain fog, headaches, and even mood swings. So if you're wondering why you feel tired after lunch, it might not be the food. It might be the 3 cups of coffee and 0 water you've had since waking up. But even if you eat right, drink water, and try your best, You can't ignore the fact that your muscles aren't what they used to be. Muscle mass starts to decline in your 30s. After 60, that process speeds up like a car going downhill with no brakes. Less muscle means less strength. Less strength means your body has to work harder to do everyday things: walking, carrying groceries, standing up from a chair. That constant extra effort? That's another reason you feel wiped out by dinner time. But there's more. Let's talk about something nobody enjoys discussing: loneliness. Emotional fatigue is just as draining as physical. And for many older women, it creeps in silently. Friends move away, loved ones pass, kids get busy. You start spending more time alone than you ever expected. And even if you tell yourself, "I'm fine," your brain disagrees. Loneliness is linked to depression, inflammation, poor sleep, and, you guessed it, fatigue. Your body reacts to isolation as a threat, like it's still wired for ancient tribes and village circles. When connection disappears, the body perceives danger, and it responds by slowing things down, making you feel low, flat, and tired. Not because you're broken, but because you're human. Then there's the medication maze. By the time you hit your 60s or 70s, chances are you're on at least a few prescriptions. Blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, sleep aids, antidepressants, painkillers. Every one of them can come with side effects, and fatigue is at the top of the list. Sometimes it's not even the medication itself, it's the way different ones interact. Mix one pill that slows your heart rate with another that lowers your blood pressure, and suddenly walking upstairs feels like hiking Mount Everest. And if you've ever tried asking a doctor about it, you've probably heard the classic, "Well, it's just part of aging." But it's not that simple. Feeling tired all the time isn't just aging. It's a signal, a flag, a sign that your body is adjusting or struggling to changes that deserve attention, not dismissal. Another hidden source? Undiagnosed conditions. Fatigue is often one of the first signs of thyroid issues, anemia, diabetes, or heart trouble. But because it comes on gradually, it's easy to brush off. One week you're taking longer naps. Next week you're turning down social events. Then you wake up and realize you've been running on empty for months. You're not making it up. You're not imagining it. And you're certainly not alone. Let's pause on that for a second, because a lot of women think they're the only one. They look around at others and think, "Why can she garden for 3 hours while I need a break after 30 minutes? But energy doesn't come from willpower. It comes from balance between hormones, muscles, sleep, nutrients, emotions, and yes, rest. And sometimes, even rest becomes complicated, because rest isn't just sitting down. True rest means allowing yourself to stop, to say no, to put yourself on the calendar next to all the other things you prioritize. How many times have you ignored your own exhaustion just to finish a chore that could have waited? How many times have you felt guilty for resting? That guilt? It's exhausting too. So no, you're not tired all the time because you're lazy. You're tired because your body has been through decades of work, physical, emotional, hormonal, and mental. And the wear and tear has added up. That doesn't mean you have to live in exhaustion forever. But it does mean your energy is asking for help. Your fatigue is a message, not a failure. It's saying something needs to change. Something needs support. And once you start listening, not brushing it off or blaming yourself, you can begin to shift that tired story into something better. So, what can you actually do about all this? If your body is whispering, or let's be honest, shouting for help, how do you begin to listen in a way that truly makes a difference? First, start by reevaluating your sleep like it's your most valuable possession. Because it is. And this isn't about going to bed earlier. It's about treating your sleep like it deserves protection. That means cutting out screen time an hour before bed. That means turning off those crime shows that leave your heart racing. It means keeping your room dark and cool and giving yourself time to wind down, like a plane descending, not crash landing. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, keep a glass of water near your bed. Keep the lights low if you have to get up, and try not to look at the clock. Clock watching only adds stress, and stress is sleep's worst enemy. Now, let's talk movement. Not exercise, not workouts, just movement. Gentle, daily motion that reminds your muscles they still matter. Think about walking, stretching, tai chi, chair yoga. Even dancing in the kitchen for 5 minutes counts. The goal isn't six-pack abs. The goal is energy flow. You see, movement increases circulation, pumps oxygen to your cells, and even improves your sleep. It also keeps your joints from rusting like old hinges. A still body becomes a stiff body. A moving body? That's one that starts to wake up again. And here's a secret most people forget. Strength training isn't just for young folks at the gym. Even lifting soup cans or resistance bands can help rebuild some of that lost muscle. And when you have more muscle, you use less energy doing everyday things. That means more strength left over for what you want to do, not just what you have to do. Next, food. Let's ditch the word diet. We're not here to restrict or punish. We're here to nourish. Energy doesn't come from air and water. It comes from fuel, and quality matters. Focus on getting more protein. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, nuts, beans, fish, or chicken. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It helps build muscle, supports immune function, and keeps you fuller longer so your energy doesn't crash mid-afternoon. And don't be afraid of healthy fats. Avocados, olive oil, salmon. These are brain boosters and hormone helpers. Your body needs fat, especially after menopause, to help balance mood and maintain energy. Add fiber-rich foods like oats, lentils, and berries to keep your digestion moving. A sluggish gut can make you feel just as tired as a sleepless night. And that brings us to hydration, again. You don't need to guzzle gallons, but aim to sip water steadily throughout the day. Herbal teas, infused water with lemon or cucumber, even soups help. Don't wait for thirst to remind you. Make it a habit, like brushing your teeth. Speaking of habits, let's check in on caffeine. It can be a blessing and a curse. That morning coffee might feel like life support, but too much caffeine, especially in the afternoon, can mess with your sleep without you realizing it. If you need a boost later in the day, try a brisk walk, a glass of cold water, or even a power nap. Just don't let that late cup of coffee sabotage your night. Let's pivot to another energy drainer that often hides in plain sight. Clutter. Not just physical clutter, but mental clutter. When your environment is messy, your brain has to work harder to process everything. That means more fatigue, even if you haven't moved an inch. Start with small wins. Clear off one table. Organize one drawer. Donate clothes you haven't worn in a year. Every small act of order can free up a little mental space. Less visual noise equals more mental peace. More peace means less stress. And less stress, more energy. Now, onto the heart of it all, your emotions. We touched on loneliness before, but let's go deeper. Joy is energizing. Isolation is not. So how do you find connection again when the world feels more distant than it used to? Start with something simple. Call an old friend. Join a group, even if it's virtual at first. Take a class, go to a library event, say hello to a neighbor. Social energy is like a muscle too. The more you use it, the easier it gets. You don't have to become a social butterfly. You just need one or two genuine connections. People who light you up, not drain you dry. And let's not forget creativity. It's not just for kids or artists. Creative expression is a proven way to reduce fatigue and boost vitality. Paint, garden, write, cook a new recipe, sing even if it's off-key, knit a scarf with wild colors. Creativity is your soul reminding you that you're still alive, still curious, still capable of delight. But here's the twist. Sometimes tiredness isn't about doing less. Sometimes it's about doing more of what actually makes you feel alive. Remember, not all tired is created equal. There's body tired, there's brain tired, there's soul tired. Each one needs a different kind of care. Body tired needs rest, movement, and nourishment. Brain tired needs clarity, hydration, and stimulation. Soul tired? That needs meaning, connection, purpose. Ask yourself, when was the last time I felt inspired? Not just content, but excited to do something. When was the last time I laughed so hard I had to sit down, or felt proud of something I made, fixed, or gave? Those feelings aren't reserved for youth. They're your human birthright at every age. Let's go back to something you probably hear too often. You're just getting older. But let's reframe that. Aging isn't a curse. It's a shift. It's not about decline. It's about adaptation. Yes, things change. But change isn't failure. Change is movement. And movement is life. So if you feel tired all the time, it's not because you're broken. It's because your body is asking for a new rhythm, a new routine, a softer way of living with just as much heart. Let's add one more piece to this puzzle. Medical checkups. Not the rushed 10-minute kind. Real, in-depth conversations. Ask about your thyroid. Ask about vitamin D. Ask about iron, B12, magnesium, and inflammation. If your doctor brushes it off, find one who listens. You deserve to be heard, not dismissed. Also, don't underestimate your gut. Your gut health affects everything: your mood, your immune system, your sleep, and yes, your energy. Probiotics, fermented foods like sauerkraut or kefir, and high-fiber meals can reset the gut microbiome in powerful ways. Sometimes your tiredness starts in your stomach and travels everywhere else. And lastly, boundaries. Yes, boundaries. How many times have you said yes to something when your whole body was begging you to say no? Boundaries aren't rude. They're self-respect. Every time you protect your time, your space, your peace, you reclaim a little piece of your energy. Say no more often. Cancel when needed. Rest without guilt. You are not a machine. You're a woman who has lived, who has loved, who has carried more than most will ever know. You've earned the right to pause, to protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Now, if you're still here, still listening, there's something you should know. You're not lazy, you're not making excuses, and you're certainly not the only one who feels this way. You're simply ready for a shift, a change in how you treat your body, your mind, and your spirit. You're ready to stop apologizing for being tired and start investigating what that tiredness is trying to tell you. Because maybe, just maybe, you're not tired from doing too much. Maybe you're tired from not doing enough of what fills you up. And maybe today is the first day you do something about it. And hey, if this hit home, if it gave you even one idea or made you feel seen, then maybe it's time to stick around. Subscribe to the channel. We've got more conversations like this, more truths that don't get talked about enough, and more ways to help you feel good in your own skin. Without the guilt, without the noise, and without pretending everything's fine when it isn't. And while you're at it, drop your city in the comments. We'd love to know where in the world you're listening from, And who else out there is done being tired for no good reason? Because you deserve better. You deserve energy that lasts. And most of all, you deserve to feel like you again.